It's today's Variety 101.9 The Mix. I'm Jenny V, now being joined by Sil.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for stopping by, because right now you're touring with Dua Lipa and this is the first show of her US dates.
Yes.
What's going through your mind right now?
I'm very excited. This will be my second time performing in Chicago, and I love Chicago. It's such a beautiful city.
Like, what was your first time when you were here?
Well, the first time I was here, I was 12, and I had this like weird obsession as a kid with Chicago. I remember constantly wanting to move to Chicago because I loved Frank Sinatra's Chicago. And so when I was a kid, I used to like draw the Chicago skyline on our basement wall, and I would make a cafe for my parents to come down and drink really mediocre teas and coffees. But yeah, Chicago was like the first time I performed here. It was my first tour ever. It was like 150 cap room. Nobody was listening to me. Nobody cared. And I was like, I'm having so much fun. And it was awesome. And so now like coming here and like being on just such a big stage, and so thankful to Dua for, giving me the opportunity to be there and stand up there is so exciting. And yeah, it's awesome.
Well, let's take it back to when your musical journey started. Why did you decide to get into all of this, and when?
I mean, my why wasn't really established, I don't think, until later in my life, but I just loved music. I connected with it. It was the way that I communicated. It was the way that I felt my emotions and was able to process my emotions. So that was, kind of the first reason for me. It was more of a need instead of a want. And then I think that, over time it kind of became, I was going through all of these trials and growing pains in life, and I knew that I wanted my music to help people the way that music had helped me, and so that kind of became my biggest purpose with music and why I was doing it.
So with all of that, when do you think that moment was that really shaped you into the artist you are today?
I think, when I was younger, when I was like 12, I used to collect vinyls, and listening to, big voices like Etta James is a huge one. I talk about her all the time. Etta James was huge. I think even Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, they were huge for me. I fell in love with the Platters. I fell in love with old music. And that was a moment when I was collecting those vinyls and really listening to it that I was like, this, I know, is what I want to do. And I think that the oldies and just feeling that nostalgia was what shaped me as an artist and the artist that I feel like I'm becoming still.
Who are some of the artists or bands you're listening to? Because I did see you covered ABBA.
I did.
For one of your shows.
It is literally, I love ABBA so much. I mean, my mom was who introduced me to ABBA. She was super into ABBA. And I've just always loved ABBA. I think that it's just like their songs are unbeatable and incredible. Who am I listening to now? I'm listening to a lot of Brenda Lee recently on this tour. I'm listening to Brenda Lee. I've been listening to Leon Thomas a lot. I love Leon Thomas. And I think like Summer Walker. Those are like my big three right now. It sounds like weirdly random, but yeah.
Because I did see on your TikTok, you did karaoke Taylor Swift, "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together."
Oh my God.
Are you a Swiftie?
Listen, I mean, I think everybody's a Swiftie. Are they not? Like everybody is. It's like, I remember being like 10 years old and like dancing to Red and just like feeling like that girl absolutely down my whole body. And yeah, I think everybody's a Swiftie.
Well, you're just making such a name for yourself. Your voice, first of all, is insanely incredible.
Thank you.
And you were hand selected by Stevie Nicks herself to support some of her tour dates.
Yeah.
And she gave you advice. You said, what was that advice?
I mean, Stevie, we weren't really able to communicate a lot on the tour just because there were a lot of COVID regulations at the time still. And she was just trying to be as safe as possible. But at the end of the tour, I finally got to meet her, and she was like, just enjoy this time and these moments, even though they might be scary or whatever you're feeling. These are the moments that you talk about. It's not the moment that you are sitting there and you've already done it all. It's the moment that you are telling this, like when you tell the story, it's these moments that make up the story, you know? And so that was her advice. And I think that really taught me to live in the moment. And I think that her tour did so much for me. And I think it prepared me for where I'm at right now with Dua. And I think that, you know, it really gave me the opportunity to show up in a way that I don't think I've ever showed up before.
And it's such great timing. You just released an album. Can you tell us about your EP and what people can expect from it?
So the EP is called Don't Hold Me Accountable. And this was a project for me where I was learning a lot of lessons. I was really learning them instead of hiding behind the denial or the anger that I was feeling about truly being hurt and truly, you know, not knowing how to love myself enough to make the right decisions for myself. And so I think this is the first time that I was really able to be honest with myself in a project. And I do that and you can feel the emotions. It's so up and down and all over the place, but it's the realest thing I think I've ever been able to make, especially lyrically, you know. I'm really talking about what I've been through and also how I'm going to make changes in my life going forward to further love myself and choose the right partners and the right friends and the right relationships. So, yeah.
And you're also releasing a new song, Something Like This, which you've shared snippets of. So we've gotten a little taste of it. It is so like soulful. How would you describe the sound? It's like almost modern day blues in a sense.
It's very soul. Like, I think that that record overall is really a chance for me to explore my femininity and explore my sensuality without having to consider the opinions of maybe a partner or other people around me. It's really just this moment of real self-love. And the lyric in the chorus is, I've been patient, I've been waiting for something like this. And that was, you know, that lyric is just more so for me. Like I've been waiting for this version of myself. I've been waiting to feel confident without having it be centered around the opinions of others, you know, because I think that when you're young, especially in your early 20s, you care a lot about what people think. And those little moments where you start to learn that nobody's opinion changes who you are. The only person that does that is you. And so it's a moment that I think I and everybody that listens to it, like they can celebrate themselves rather than, you know, celebrate themselves just because of some sort of love in their life or relationship in their life. It's for you, you know, and I think your sensuality, your femininity, it's always for you and it should always be for you.
Well, that's such an incredible message. Now, are you performing that one live while you're touring? Woo!
Yes, it is my favorite song to sing live. It's like you listen to the record. I almost said vinyl. That's so funny. You listen to the record and it is so good and I love it. But the minute I performed it live, I was like, oh, like I really knew what this song was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really excited. If anybody gets to hear it live, it's really good.
I'll be there. I'll be cheering for you really loud because I didn't get to see you when you came to Summerfest in Milwaukee, and that's only an hour and a half away. What was the highlight of performing that festival?
I actually didn't end up being able to go to Summerfest.
No.
Yeah, I had some conflicts in my life at the time, so I wasn't able to go to Summerfest, but hopefully I can go to Summerfest.
Or Lollapalooza. Just throwing that out there.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait for festivals. I've only done one festival in my life, and it was with Dua at Sunny Hill. It was so much fun. I had the time of my life, and I think that doing more festivals is going to definitely be something in my life that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, for sure. And you have I don't know if you have downtime, but you've got a few days here. Is there anything you're going to do in your free time or something that you're like, I need to, this is where I go when I come to Chicago or want to?
Well, I heard that there's a restaurant called Daisy's that's really, really good. So I'm going to try to go to Daisy's and I'm going to go try to hang out at the Bean.
Oh, yeah.
I heard, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I heard somebody's living in the Bean.
Okay. I have not been there to confirm. Conspiracy. I did see that too. But you'll have to let us know. Like,
I'm gonna knock on the Bean. I'll listen. Don't worry.
I have a hard time believing that they're allowed to get away with that. But you let us know. We'll be watching.
I'm gonna figure out if somebody's living in the Bean.
Right. Oh, so, what are you excited for most about your show tonight or tomorrow? What can people expect?
I think that it's just one of the most high energy shows that I've done. It's so much fun. I feel the most confident I've ever been on stage. And I think that that's about, stepping up, watching Dua. She's so graceful and incredible on stage. And when you watch her, you want to do your best. And I think that this is probably one of the best shows that I've put on. And so if you come, then that's what you can expect. That's all I gotta say.
All right. I love that teaser. Yeah. And do you have anything coming up afterwards? Like, what is next for you?
After tour?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just making music and hopefully, at some point doing a headline run. Just, maybe start of the year next year. Possibly. We'll see.
Well, we hope to see you in Chicago. Thank you so much for stopping by 101.9 The Mix.
Thank you so much. Yay!